Lake Sarah back in 1987. A group of people shot fireworks from lakes, beach, just like anybody would over a lake or pond. Well, that started escalating over the years. It started escalating and people started donating money. So back around the years of 87, 89, we had myself being involved in law enforcement. We had a group called Centenary Police Association, and a resident of the lake, Terry Trueblood, which was a Secretary of State officer. He helped found the Effingham Police Association and kicked into this fireworks and enjoyed it just as a hobby. We all did it as a hobby. Well, then it grew and it grew. And over the years, us being in law enforcement, well, we had the credentials to purchase fireworks and stuff, commercial grade. You know, just like any fireworks enthusiast, we step it up a little bit every year. It's starting to turn from pleasure, hobby to work. And that work has grown so much in the Effingham area. We provide a lot of centennials around the area. Effingham, for one, Effingham City Show Centennial, and football moms. We moved the show this recently out to the football fields. Siegel Sesquicentennial last year. Mid-American Motor Works last year was Corvette's 60th anniversary. And then mostly recently at Lake Sarah. There's a different setting for them people. There's people on boats out there at nighttime. We ended the show at the finale with what we call a water cake. And this water cake carpeted the water, and projectiles floated in the water and they glowed like jellyfish. And the people were awed. Even I knew the effect I was trying to look for, but you just got to try and experiment with some of these fireworks and what they do. Say, hey, I want to try that, see how it has effect on the people. And it's the people's report and the people who shoot the fireworks off that makes it a pleasure for me.
Well, I'm Leanne Noland. I'm the associate pastor at Centenary United Methodist Church, and we believe that our church is the oldest continuing congregation in Effingham County.
In February of 1831, the Illinois legislature created Effingham County and designated Ewington as the county seat. In 1852, construction began on the Illinois Central Railroad, which is now the Canadian National, and the first regularly scheduled train service was in January of 1856. In 1859, the voters of Effingham County voted to move the county seat from Ewington to Effingham. In the 1910 history of Effingham County, Judge Joseph Jones, who was a member of the church congregation in both Ewington and in Effingham, relates that with the opening of the railroad and the moving of the county seat, businesses, residents, and institutions moved from Ewington to Effingham, and thus Ewington basically went out of business. And that included the moving of the church congregation to Effingham. The church did not have a building for a while. At first they met in private homes. They met at a place called, in a store at Kistner's Corner, which is roughly Jefferson Avenue and Merchant Street, close to where Martin's IGA is located, then close to the Daily News building, then in the courthouse, and then in 1865 they built the first church. And then they remodeled that first building in 1884, but then they decided that they needed a new and larger church, and in 1895 they started construction with dedication in 1896. They continued in that church on South 5th Street until they moved in to this church. In 1951, the congregation started thinking about building a new church. And in April of 1952, the congregation voted to build this current church. Then in 1976-77, a bell tower was added to the church, which has an interesting history. The bell was from the 1895 church. When they sold that building to another church congregation, they retained ownership of the bell, and if that building would cease to be a church, the bell was to revert to the congregation of Centenary Methodist Church. The church has always been active. It has a growing membership. I believe the current membership is approximately 800. There's 3 church services every week, and it is very involved in the community and in mission activities.
We just have a spectrum of ages and experiences, and I think that's why we've survived 179 years, because we are a community that is bigger than just a building. The church is definitely a community, and we're a good microcosm of all different backgrounds and vocations and experiences, all put together on East Groves.
Wes and Wanda Pitcher are the owners, and they determined in 2011 that there was one type of business missing in the Effingham area, and that might be a winery. And so they started their construction, actually before that, of course, and it opened up in July of 2011. It's gorgeous. It's very pretty. It's old world, I would describe it as, and it looks like kind of European in nature, perhaps Italian or Spanish looking. But when you actually walk into it, you no longer feel like you're in the Midwest. When you walk into it, there's a very warm, dark wood, high ceilings, and the ambiance just makes you feel like you're in another country, perhaps. And it's very large. It can accommodate large crowds, you know, but it can also have those private corners for intimate conversation. They've got a beautiful patio on both sides, so during the spring and summer and fall, you've got the vineyards that you can look over, but you're shaded from the sun. So it's a very inviting and welcoming place. They do grow their own grapes. However, I believe it takes from planting to harvest, I think it's 4 to 5 year period, so they are still growing. So that's why they import the grapes from other areas right now. I love Effingham, but I do think that this has really been a wonderful asset for our community, because all sorts of people go out there. You can have bridal showers out there, retirement parties. Some businesses have their Christmas parties there. And when you drive up the walk, it says, there's a brick wall there that says, come as our guest, leave as our friends. And that's the definition of them and how their friendships are built. And so I really feel like, even though you may be a stranger to our area or to Effingham, once you go in there and start visiting with them, I think that you'll really think of Effingham differently and have fond memories of it.
Well, my grandmother, Agnes Thomas, started the store in 1936, and she was very driven. She had a focus. She wanted to bring quality clothing with service and at a reasonable price, and her basis was on quality. And she would have my dad come up and set up the Christmas tree, then take it down on Christmas Eve and bring it back to their house and set it back up. So, but it's always been based around family. There's stories, the women will come in the store and say, I remember when your dad was upstairs in the old building, would shoot rubber bands down, and my children grew up there. And my grandmother was diagnosed with cancer in 1967, and then that's when my parents took over the business. And now I have a 16-year-old daughter, and she is interested in staying in this, so that'll be the 4th generation. People like to do business with us. They're like our family. I always say our business is based around fashion, faith, friendships, and family. So
they feel like a part of our family. The first building is what is the Zone 2, which is the Ladies Fitness Center, which is right next door to the building that we own today. And then we moved across the street to, at one time it was Rex Roads after we were there, and it was a photography studio, and now it's 221. And then in 1971, we moved across the street, and we literally walked the racks across the street, had friends help us, and we had purchased that building, and we've been there since. And my dad designed the windows, and that really helps. We have kids in driver's ed that say they come by every day because it is a driver's route to take your test, and they come by just to see what we have in the window. Today I had a girl that she's bought all of her homecoming and prom dresses from me, and you see a girl and they feel like Cinderella, and that's how Mom always tells the girls, you should feel like the belle of the ball. And that's how we want the girls to feel like. And now that my daughter's that age, we see that fourfold. And you get attached to these girls, and then when they graduate, it's almost kind of sad. But then we usually get to see them again because they'll come in for the mother of the bride dresses. So, and then you feel like a part of their family because they tell us all about what the wedding colors are and what they're all doing for the wedding. And so you do become a part of their family as well. My mom is my best friend, but of course it's very challenging. It has gotten easier with age, and we work well together. We're a really good team. And I've brought my daughter to market with us since she was a baby in a pumpkin seat, so she's used to that. And we can tell each other anything, argue about something, and it's over. And then we move on to the next step. It is challenging, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, it was a big event 20 years ago, approximately 20 years ago, because the school had a lot of trouble. They had had 2 unsuccessful referendums. And there was problems with classroom size, there was problems with conditions of the building. And because of the unsuccessful referendums, we really didn't know which way to turn. And we were committed as a school board of keeping our classroom size below 30 students. That was our main concern, because we knew that the quality of education would go down if we didn't keep classroom size at a proper level. We were looking at portable classrooms that were going to cost about $50,000 each, which aren't more than a mobile home. The concern of the school board, people don't like new taxes. There was a lot of pressure on the school board. A lot of the people back then did not want to make that additional investment. And it was a difficult thing for us to, but we were for it as a board. We were totally in support of it. After those 2 unsuccessful referendums, many people in the community still wanted us to pursue this. And the city, 2 people from the city, Hank Stevens and Dale Fitzpatrick, were quite, I want to say, helpful, because they came up with the idea that they could use TIF money to help fund this project. And TIF is a tax incremental financing district. And what the city does is they take the new tax in the TIF area that's been outlined, and they use that to develop projects within the city. So the school district does not lose money from its base. It's only on the new money that they lose. If there's a TIF district in that unit, then the state reimburses the unit a little bit more. So it's basically a win-win. The total project was about $20 million. And what was involved was construction of a new school, a new high school that would hold 1,200 students. It was a remodeling project to the existing high school that would become a middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then there was some repair work done at the other schools also. The total project, $20 million. $4 million came from TIF money, okay? And approximately $14.5 million came from the referendum. And then the school district had in reserves $2 million. The referendum previous to that was more than $20 million. So this became very marketable to the public when they see that the city is helping with this, and also that the school district had some money in reserves. Well, then they could see this is probably a pretty good buy. And really, when you think about TIF, TIF is an economical development piece. What better thing to develop in your community than the school? I really thought back then that this didn't get the news that it should have gotten. This was quite an effort by two government entities getting together, working together to get something done for the benefit of the community.
And we are back with you right now. And you know what? That last story, Jana, we met that gentleman to begin with, the barber shop right downtown Effingham. And he was telling us about that story. And he said, hey, we've got a group of people that want to tell this story. And one of those things right there, putting that funding together for the high school is what Effingham is about.
It's all about.
It's community pulling together, just like they have tonight, calling us here in the studio.
This has been amazing, the support that we've gotten from the Effingham community and beyond. We just got a call from Bristol, Indiana, from Andrew Gould. So thank you so much, Andrew. We really appreciate that. Leonard Waldorf. Thank you so much. He's from Shumway. Kathy Thomas is from Effingham. Thank you, Kathy. And Ken Fisher from Effingham. Thank you so very much.
And I have a couple of people to thank as well. Marion Burford, who joined us this evening from Effingham. Thank you so much, Marion. And Mickey Pasalakwa. Did I say that right?
Good job.
Pasalaka, yeah.
I passed that on over to her.
Thank you so much for calling in and contributing to Effingham, This Is Our Story. These are some great DVDs that you could receive this evening. By contributing, you can call the number at the bottom of your screen right now. You can receive one for $75, two or more at $60 a piece. And they're standing by right now. We've got a couple of people who are waiting to take your call, and we need to get them busy. So what do you think, Lori?
Well, I got to tell you, we're working on that DVD right now. Some people have asked, when are we going to get the DVD? And it's, as we said, our producer Fred said, it's cooking right now. That's a technical term. But what we did is, on the DVD, you can watch the whole show, 2 hours that you're seeing right now, minus Jana and Kate and I, and Kian and I. Or we've got the stories listed alphabetically. So if you want to just take a look at the Effingham fireworks story, or you want to take a look at the Hodebeck millinery story, you can just view just that. So it would be a great thing as you're getting together for the holidays to pull people together and say, look at this piece of Effingham history. I want to show my kids and grandkids a little history about the town that they might not know anything about. And you can do that by calling right now and supporting this great program. Our phone operator is busy, and they're right behind me. And we still have one more segment of this great program coming up. We're going to hear about a woman that is famous in Effingham history named Ada Kepley. A lot of people may know her. If you've been to the Courthouse Museum, there's a display about her. But she actually did some other very, very important things in Effingham's history. So she's a very important character in the history of Effingham. So we hope you're enjoying the program. We know you are, because the phones are ringing, and we love that. So I'm going to send it back to one of the ladies right now.
Thank you for keeping those phone lines busy. We have a couple standing by right here that are waiting to take your calls. So it's great. Yeah, it's Brian Marxman right here. He had a story in this last segment, Fireworks in Effingham. Provides a lot of fireworks for all kinds of different festivals, lighting up your skies. So we thank you for doing that. We thank you for being a part of Effingham, This Is Our Story. A couple of other stories that we just saw was the Centenary United Methodist Church. And you know what? The girl that you saw in that program is Leanne Nolan. She's one of the WEIU alumni, and she was part of those who recruited some other storytellers. So thank you for that. Tuscan Hills Winery, the Thomas Shop, lots of great places to visit in Effingham. We've met a lot of wonderful people there, and we want to thank you for being a part of Effingham, This Is Our Story. Our phone lines are still busy. We still have a few open, and we want to say thank you for calling in, but still give us a call if you haven't just yet. Jane, back to you.
Hey, Kian. We have one phone open right now. Brian Marxman is just sitting over there just waiting for somebody to call him. So if you know Brian, want to support him tonight and him being a storyteller, we'd like for you to call. Hey, see? There he goes. Give him a wave, Brian. Give him a wave. Give him a wave. There he goes. I love it. I love it. Brian's been a good sport tonight. He reminds me of my brother. My brother always gives me a hard time. So Brian's just like him. So we've had so much fun tonight. It's not over yet. We're trying to get to 100 callers. I think we're around 62 right now. So if you're one of those people, we'd love to thank you on air as well. So right now, if you're one of those people that want to have a heirloom DVD of this program, we want you to call. The number's on the screen. We need you to hear from you right now. I'm going to send it on over to Lori. What you got going over there?
All right. Well, I'm so excited about it. You got to stay tuned for the rest of the show, because the last story is one that got a few laughs when we did the premiere with some of the storytellers last Thursday down at the Effingham Performance Center. We did kind of a private screening. The very last story, if you've been in Effingham for a certain amount of time, You may remember the Labor Day bell. Maybe fondly, maybe not so fondly. Well, our storyteller, Mary Ellen Eversman, wanted to tell that story. And it's kind of a funny story of what happened to the bell. And we don't know, and maybe you know what happened and who might be responsible. I don't want to give away the story, so you got to stay tuned for just a little while longer to hear the story of the Effingham Labor Day bell. Kian?
Hey, we've been talking about this DVD all night, and several people have called in. We're up to about 62 people who... Oh, 70, yeah, that's a number to celebrate, yes. 70 people have called in tonight to contribute to Effingham, This Is Our Story. We want to thank you. We're edging up to our goal of 100 people calling in. We still have another segment to go, but we can take your call right now at 1-877-727-9348. And you know what? Not only are you going to get this great show and the great stories that are being told, but on the actual cover of the DVD, it's going to have all of the names of the storytellers. Who is in that story? Who's telling those stories? On the front of it, it's telling the people are the history. The people are telling these stories right straight from their very own personal stories and different things that you can listen to in the comfort of your own home. You can watch it tonight, but you know what? It would be great to have a copy so you can watch this at home. You can share it with your friends, share it with your neighbors, or give it away as a gift. Isn't that right?
That's right. People to thank: Phil Toops from Effingham, Cindy Roger from Effingham, Robert Price from Villa Grove. Thank you so much. Hazel Hayes from Watson. I love that name. Hazel Hayes, that's a good name. Thank you so much, Hazel. Bill McNeil from Tolono. Wow, that's great. So those are just a few of the people. We're up right now to, we're at 70 people right now. So we're 30 away. So right now, if you want to be the next person that we say thank you to on the air, or maybe you want to give anonymously, that's fine as well. But we need to hear from you right now. The number's on your screen. So important to support your local PBS station. We wanted to be in Effingham, and we wanted to do this program for you, just so you could have it forever, to share with your children, share with your grandkids, share with your neighbor. Or maybe you have kids that don't live in Effingham anymore, that have gone away. You want to give them the history of Effingham. We want you to call right now. Lori, what do you got over there?
Well, the phones are a little bit quiet, so now would be a perfect time to talk to Delane, or talk to Loella's actually on the phone, talk to Amy, talk to Brian Marxman, fireworks extraordinaire man of Effingham. Great guy. We had a wonderful time interviewing him. I'm going to share a story. I'm going to embarrass him a little bit. He gets to the interview and he said, I brought my own makeup. But he didn't bring it tonight. He asked, I didn't have any for him, but he still looks good. So, and Brian brought his wife and his son, and they're in our control room enjoying the program tonight. This has been a lot of fun for us to bring the storytellers here to the studio. Storytellers, they brought some people brought their spouses, and we've just had a great time talking with people, and we've really realized what a small world it is. We were talking to Glenn Bauer, who said, oh, my aunt and uncle, or my aunt lived in the Austin mansion when it was an apartment building. And Linda Ruhal said she went to school with Marion Burford's youngest sister, trying to keep this all straight. So it's a small, small world. And Effingham is a great town, as you're seeing tonight. We hope you've learned a lot about this wonderful community. I know we did too. When we were there, we kind of had done some stories there through other programs, but boy, we sure learned a lot about the people, the places, the history, and what a great place Effingham is. Kian?
Well, we want to say thank you for the phones ringing. We've got we do have everyone on the phone. Yes, we do have everyone on the phone, so thank you so much. If you are trying to call right now, just call right back, because the phone will open up in just a moment. We're celebrating Effingham. This is our story this evening. Lots of storytellers from Effingham volunteered to be a part of this great program. They were the videographers, they were the photographers, they gave the footage, and they told the stories straight from their personal heart. So we want to say thank you for them doing that. We're your local public broadcasting station, and we wouldn't be able to do these types of programs without the support from you. So thank you so much for supporting this, supporting your residents, supporting your neighbors, and supporting your home. So we want to get back to the program in just a moment, but we're going to continue and say thank you to a few more people before we do that.
Yes, thanks, Kian. We'd like to thank Rick Jorn. Now, we know Rich Jorn, so if it was misspelled, I just want to say it says Rick Jorn. So thank you, Rick, from Effingham. Thank you, Lonnie and Virginia Softladell. That's the name we got now. It looks like we're almost to 80 callers right now. So we're
That's
20
right.
away from meeting our goal of 100. So if you're wanting to get that thank you gift, now's the time to call. You can always go online to weiu.net and give us well there.
That's right. You can do it either way, but the phones are busy right now. All phones are ringing, but call back in just a moment.
There's
Give
one
your
open. There's one open.
contribution to WEIU tonight and say thank you so much for exposing me to the great history of what Effingham is all about. It's getting bubbly here in the studio right
I just
now
wanna go,
because we're so
"Yay!
excited. We're almost to reach that goal of 100 people calling in right now. We've got about 20 more to go. We've got a little bit more of the program right now, but you know what? You can call right now.
Keep
If
on
you've
calling.
been sitting by saying, you know what? I think I should get that DVD. You should. You should call right now, 1-877-727-9348.
Something else I wanted to say about WEIU. We were talking to another station today that does the very same thing. They've been doing it for 20 years. And she said, something you need to let Effingham people know. Not every television station is going to call up Effingham and say, we want to do a program on you. You're not going to find that anywhere else other than a PBS station. And we are your PBS station. We're 30 minutes from Effingham, just a little drive down the road. We want you to be part of our family. We want you to be a part of WEIU. And right now, we feel the love from Effingham. And
right.
we're giving it back to you, too. We really appreciate you calling tonight. I want to be the next person. I want to thank somebody else. So call right now. We're almost to 100, and that's exciting.
It is exciting. And you know what? You have led us into your lives. You have told your personal stories. You're sharing those stories with us. And we want to say thank you for that. We want you to be a part of our story as well. And to be able to do that, you have to call the number at the bottom of your screen and get a DVD copy tonight. And we've got a couple of phone operators standing by right now. And Brenda's trying to hand you
Okay,
a little
sorry, I'm sorry.
notepad back there because we're giving shout outs to all of those people who are supporting. They're supporting you not only from Effingham, but from all around the viewing area. So Jana, who do we have?
Sure. Thank you, Ron Sealer. I'm hoping that's right, from Effingham. Claude and Linda Hudson. Pardon me? Seiler?
Seiler?
I'm sorry, Seilers. And David and Janet Henry. Thank you so very much. We do not take any of these callers for granted. We know that it's, it's giving back to the station that's giving you something. So, but Effingham has given us so much already tonight.
That's right. Isn't that right, Lori?
That's right. I had the pleasure of getting to interview all 30 people in this show. It was actually me and Ramin Carbacion, who's behind the camera, that ran the camera. And we had a great time. We got to meet these people. We got to spend about a half an hour. We could have spent a lot more time and just enjoyed meeting a whole new group of people that we can kind of consider our friends. And we got to hear great stories and enjoy some wonderful food from the various restaurants in Effingham while we were down there shooting. We got to film. Glenn had asked, where did you film those at? They were done at the Stang Art Studio, which is just downtown. And so it really took a whole community of people to make this program happen. And we want to thank you so much for watching, for supporting WEIU. This is what public television is all about. So are we heading back to the program? No,
I got some thank yous.
We got some more thank yous, so I'm going to send it over to Jana.
Okay, I'd like to say a big thank you to John Lang. He is a cousin to Jim Lang.
Of Jim Lang.
And he's a retired mayor of Effingham. So thank you so much, John Lang, for calling tonight and supporting this great program on WEIU.
And for supporting your cousin.
Yeah, and your cousin, the other storytellers, what's really funny, when I can say somebody's name, every one of these people here go, oh, that's not how you pronounce it. They know you. That's the great thing about a small town. You know everyone.
That's right.
Denise and Irene Custer.
Custer?
See? Custer. Thank you so much. We want to give a big shout out to them and thank them because you know what? They got on their phone and they called and they supported a program that's all about Effingham, and that's really important thing to do.
It is important. And you know what? By calling us tonight, we will get to know you as well.
Sure.
Because you're starting a relationship with WEIU, and we have started a relationship with the town of Effingham by producing this program with the great residents of Effingham, and so we will know how to say your names after tonight.
Yes, we will.
So if we are butchering them, we do apologize, but we really do want to say thank you. It really is a heartfelt thank you for calling in tonight and supporting this program, and we appreciate your patience during this break, but we're not going to hold you much longer. We're going to get back to the show. Effingham, this is our story.
Can I take one other person?
Well, we started in 1885. My great-grandfather opened the business actually in the location we're at now. He bought it from his brother who had it across the street. So we've been here a long time. I'm the fourth generation. My grandma and grandpa worked here, my dad and my uncle. My dad, who's going to be 80 this year, still comes in 6 days a week. So it's always been a family business. My family started their business in the late 1800s. You had dirt streets, you didn't have sidewalks, you know. So horse and buggies were bringing people to town, so that obviously has changed. But you see a lot of the old businesses, old buildings, so they've got a lot of that character with the outside decoration and the inside wood trim, and just kind of a combination of both, but they still offer the latest services and products. So it's a kind of a nice mix of old and new. I think it's really important to have a downtown business district because all of our small shops really cater to our customers on a one-to-one individual basis. It's so much easier for a small business to respond if someone is looking for something unique or individual than it is for a big box store to do. So, and just to have that activity downtown, have almost 40 businesses that are open a lot of hours for people to come and shop, it just brings people downtown. It's a good sense of community. I just think the people of Effingham have a lot of imagination and drive, and they just look for opportunities. Some of our newest businesses, you know, some have started out as maybe more of an online business and expanded to a storefront where we're at today, an artist studio. You know, they look around and see a need and they're just really adventurous and go for it. The Effingham Business District, we've really stepped things up. We've had a lot of events lately. Our annual Christmas program this past year, we did a tree lighting ceremony, and we always do some sort of a fundraising element with it where we'll collect canned goods for Catholic charities. We just had a Taste of Freedom event in June where we donated to 5 different charities, the main ones being Blessings in a Backpack, which is the newer charity in town, and then also the Effingham County Veterans Memorial. But we always try to have an event that's fun, that brings people in, get off the interstate and come explore the downtown and see what we have to offer. We have a farmer's market now on Saturdays. We have the History Museum that really has alternating exhibits that are fun. We just to look at the storefronts and the architecture downtown and the art pieces that are set up and changed. It's just a neat place to go and kind of stroll around and see what's on. There's a lot of live music now in the different restaurants and bars at night, on weekends, so it's just a fun place to go and to look around and see what's new because there's always something new.
Ada Kepley was probably one of the most colorful and extraordinary historic characters in Effingham County history. She was born in 1847, Ada Miser, and shortly after the Civil War, she moved to Effingham where she met her lawyer husband Henry. They were married shortly thereafter. She enrolled in the Chicago School of Law, University of Chicago School of Law, and graduated in 1870 as the first female law school graduate in the United States and possibly the world. Okay. The interesting thing is, though, that's not why we in Effingham really remember her, although that's a very notable attainment. Her passion really became that of temperance and women's suffrage. And because of her, she invited Susan B. Anthony from the Women's Suffrage Program and Frances Willard of the WCTU. They both came here and attended rallies at her invitation. Ada was very concerned about women and children in the family being abused by husbands that drank very heavily. And that's why she was against alcohol. Typically, a young mother and children, father might go out and frequent a dram shop or saloon, as they called it back then, and come home and basically take his anger out on them. And Ada saw that, and she said, that's got to stop. So her Band of Hope, which was a model from Frances Willard, was where she kept and helped young children and gave them the temperance pledge so that they didn't get locked up in the alcoholism that maybe their father had.
She got into several saloon fights over it, including Teutopolis. She went over there and ransacked a saloon with a pickaxe, and those are very colorful, but nonetheless, I think very important. If you understand the times, and you really have, one of the things that I say to my students in class is you really have to understand the culture. Before you judge a historic character right or wrong, you have to understand the culture that they were involved with, and that was the culture she was involved with.
Jake Fruller, a miserable hanger-on about town, was screeching drunk January 16th and was fined and set to clean off the crossings to pay his fine. He screamed and howled like a bedlamite, and a lot of men and boys got out to enjoy the tune. It was a disgraceful thing to see that poor wretch with his stomach full of licensed whiskey scream. And it was more disgraceful yet to see sober men and boys laugh at the dreadful spectacle. And it was more horrible yet to realize that men who fully believed Jake would go into an everlasting hell would vote for the conditions that would send him there, and then stand and laugh to see him in a condition that would put him in torment forever. Alas, what manner of Christian are we who permit such things?
Shortly after I got my thesis finished and graduated, I said to Joe, I said, you know, I've got this fantastic historic character by the name of Ada Kepley, and I wanted to know if you would be interested in portraying her. And so she read Farm Philosopher. She said, I think this would work. So she has memorized great volumes of her book, her autobiography, and knows it cold, and knows, in a lot of ways, knows Ada better probably than I do. I think it's very important for people to see it because, first of all, Ada was, we could call her a native, or practically a native of Effingham. They need to understand how things maybe were at the time in the latter part of the 19th century and early part of the 20th century, and how things have changed for the better. For how the family unit in many respects has changed for the better. And because of Ada. And you know, you can look at the files and look into the narratives that were done on these young children that became adults and said, had it not been for Mrs. Kepley, I wouldn't be the person in my community that I am today.
Well, Consuello Luttrell was not a native to Effingham, but when she moved here with her husband Homer, she adopted Effingham as her hometown, and she spent her time just being involved in many organizations that all benefited Effingham and its just the people that live here. First of all, she was a former teacher, so she had that. She also had traveled to 126 countries. She and her husband, in a small plane for most of it, he flew them to these places. And so she understood she and Homer both understood what education can do for people. It opens doors.
I absolutely love the woman. And I first got to know her as a neighbor. And the thing that I admired so much about her was she was old enough to be my mother. However, she had more energy than a lot of my girlfriends. And I thought, this is amazing to me. And then after I got to know her, she was so excited and so enthused about so many things that I was energized after I was around her. I'd say she was very, very community-minded. She wanted the best for this community. And when she served on the library board, she put her heart and soul into it, as she did everything else. I mean, her heart and soul was into it. And the library prospered and it grew. At the time, you know, we all served on the board. It was just delightful. I mean, if anybody thought something could happen, and she thought it was a good idea and good for the community, she saw that it happened. She was passionate about the library because she was passionate about education. I think she would be excited because she would see all the good things happening, and she would see the programs that you have for the community, the reading programs you have for the children. I think she would be extremely excited, and she would probably have another idea that, you know, you could incorporate that would be another spectacular idea.
She passed away when she was 88 years old, and she received the Lakeland College Distinguished Service Award in 1993, and then in the Effingham Daily News in 1994 named her as Citizen of the Year for Effingham, and I believe she may have passed away like the next year because I believe she was 87 when she had that award given to her. I personally never had the pleasure of meeting her. I wish I would have. She's just remarkable. And just, tireless in her giving is how she was described. So, yeah, quite a lady.
We were just talking about ghost hunting and everything, and we're like, well, hey, let's start a group, So we started a group, and it has grown tremendously. There's believers, there's skeptics, there are some people who are open and minded about this, but there are a lot of ghost stories and legends with Effingham because, there's, history, because Effingham goes way back when the 1800s. Plus, even nowadays, you'll hear people's stories pop up about experiences that they had in their own home. I myself grew up in a house by Bliss Park, and I'm living there today. I grew up with occurrences in this home. I would hear footsteps going up and down the stairs at night when nobody's awake. My sister and I, we would hear footsteps in the hallway, when nobody's awake. So my family and I, we kind of named this ghost Vladimir. He's kind of like, pet ghost, I guess you can say. Well, one day I invited my ghost hunting group to come over to do a little ghost hunt, and down in the basement, we got on a digital Canon camera. We had to use a flash on it because we what we do call lights out, which means we don't have lights on. And what we got is a dark mist in my basement. And yeah, we were pretty excited about that one. One of our favorites is the Poor Farm Cemetery just south of Effingham. One night we were out there, it was the first time we were out there, and we were walking along, and on video, I got one of our investigators named Rick Bannock on the ghost box. And we got a video of it, which we were so thankful for. Now we can show people hey, this is what we got, it's really neat.
Rick Bannock, did you hear that? This just said Rick Bannock.
What a ghost box is, it's a regular radio that's been manipulated where when it scans, it doesn't stop on a radio station. So it goes over several frequencies in a matter of seconds. So it's kind of hard to have a word or a phrase come over from a radio station. But since this thing is scanning so fast, Rick's name came out clear as day over several frequencies, and we call that a Class A EVP. What makes our group enjoyable is that we are all friends. Doesn't matter if we just first meet you. We're all connected one way or another. Either somebody knows the cousin of this person, or this person went to school with this person. And so we all have this common bond other than the interest in the paranormal. And so we all get along fabulously. We have different faiths in there. We have Christians, we have Wiccans, we have, people who are not sure of. And we respect each other's beliefs and religions, and that's what makes it really nice, because we're just like a group of people who get together, we just have fun and we laugh, and it's basically a good release from life.
What we now call the old Effingham City Hall, out in front by Banker Street of the fire station was mounted a bell, a big old iron bell. And someone, I guess, maybe some of the city fathers in the early 50s got the idea that it would be a nice gesture to commemorate workers on Labor Day by mounting that bell on the back of a truck and starting out at 6 o'clock in the morning and rolling it through the streets of Effingham with its gong, gong, gong that would wake the dead. My dad, and it turns out many others, would say, oh, no, the only day I get to sleep in. And now there's this bell, and I think it got to the point where people just, they hated to think of Labor Day morning coming. Imagine, the night before Labor Day, some perpetrators had mounted the bell on a truck, and they'd taken it to a secret hiding place and stashed it there for the night. And then Labor Day evening, they brought it back. I think after that, they kind of got the idea that maybe people didn't care too much for that.
Welcome back. Was that the story on the Liberty Bell? Labor Day Bell. I always want to call it the Liberty Bell. What is the deal with that? We have some new guests in our phone bank, Abby and Cole, their daughter and son, Brian. So welcome. They're so cute. I guess earlier we mentioned that Brian brought his wife and his son, but we left out his daughter, and that was definitely not fair to Abby. So Abby, we hope all our friends are watching. Give them a little wave, Abby. Yes, see. Thank you. Brian has been a lot of fun. And speaking of Brian, a lot of his friends have been calling in. We got to say a big thank you to Harold Ham Hampton of Effingham.
Ham Hampton?
Ham Hampton.
It's all about ham and Effingham.
We did get ham pizza tonight. We got ham pizza, and a lot of the people here in the studio got to sample ham pizza. Okay, Jerry Enzyme from Effingham, Eddie Bouchou from Mason. Thank you so much. That's all I've got. What do you got?
Well, I have Groton and Mary Lynn Tolliver from Effingham, and they are Civil War musicians.
Cool.
And we have Edith Allen from Effingham, Robin Teese from Teutopolis. I wonder if
they're related.
Are they related to Chris?
Cousins or something?
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Which did the story on the Veterans Memorial. And Paul and Becky Rhodes from Teutopolis. So
If you want to be the next one to thank on air, we are needing 14 callers. We're almost to 100. 14 needs to call right now. So if you give us a call, the number's on your screen. Let's get to 100. Wouldn't that be awesome? First program we've ever done on a town. We could get to 100. I mean, but see, that's what Effingham people do. You tell them what you need, and they step up. So right now, there's nobody on the phone. How many do we have?
This is the first time the phone's been silent
I know, all night.
So you have a good chance of calling in and getting all these great people to talk to. The number's at the bottom of your screen, so get these phones calling right now.
Right now, we got to get them going. Lori, do we have anybody else to thank?
In our great story about what's going on in the downtown area. She's part of actually the furniture store, the W.S. Broom family, that's been in business forever in Effingham. And Clint Coons, who is a friend, who works at Legacy Harley Davidson, a friend of our storyteller Tyson Reed, also supporting the show tonight. You know, when you talk about Effingham knows how to get it done, think about the stories we've seen tonight. It started off with the Veterans Memorial. When we talked to Chris Teese, he told us that the idea for that started on a napkin. And he said, and suddenly I was in charge of it. So a group came together, made that happen. A group came together in the 1940s, early 50s to rebuild the hospital. When the Druin statue needed to be rebuilt, the community came together. When the high school needed to be renovated, the city and the school district worked together to make that happen. And you guys are making it happen tonight. We have probably we need 11 more calls, and you could be the next one. So give us a call right now. Get our phone operators busy. Brian Marxman needs a phone call. We're playing a little musical chairs. So we need 11 more, and we can do it. You guys are great in Effingham. You're great all over East Central Illinois. I know you support what you love, and we hope you love WEIU.
I want somebody to call Brian right now, and if the phone rings and Brian does not answer it, or maybe Abby, I don't know if you're a friend of Abby's, but if you want to talk to somebody and they're not answering the phone, we'll switch. We just switched. Somebody wanted to talk.
Some musical chairs. Someone wanted to
Somebody
talk.
called
Back here.
They did, and I'm like, just switch. We're okay with that. So right now, we are how many phone calls away?
11 away.
We're 11 away. Who wants to be?
Count them down.
Let's count them down. We're going to get to 11, and we're going to work our way down to 0, and when we do 0, we're all going to scream or something. I don't know.
Because we're really at 100 instead of 0. Because
yes.
that many people have supported you tonight. Effingham, this is all about you. You should be very proud of yourself tonight.
We could not have asked for a better bunch of people to do stories for us. We have had so much fun with these storytellers. They're our family now, so they're in. And all the people they're calling, you're in now, because once you become a member, you become a member of WEIU, you're a part of us, and we are friends with you forever. So you know when you call here, you can call and say, I want to talk to that Lori Casey girl, you know, the one that asks us all these questions during our stories. We actually will call you back. We will talk to you. Call me or call Kian. You're not going to get an answering machine unless we just happen to be out to lunch or something. We will be here to answer your questions.
And you know what? If you want to communicate with us after tonight, feel free to do that too. You can give us the same call.
Sure.
The number is at the bottom of your screen. It's the same number that you can call during our business hours. Give us a call tomorrow if you want to. But we really want to hear from you tonight because we have about
We're almost 100
people that need to give us a call and say, hey, I want to contribute. Get a copy of that DVD and become your 100th caller tonight. That would be awesome.
I don't know what we're going to do when we hit 100, but I do know we are staying right here till we hit that 100 mark, because why not? We'll keep on, yeah, if the phones are busy, keep on calling. You can always go online to weiu.net, but we're staying right here. We're staying right here until you call us.
That's right. Sorry, we're getting a few signals here in the studio. So, Lori, let's go over to you.
This has been such a fun program for all of us really to work on. It's been a huge team effort from the people of Effingham to the people here at WEIU. We couldn't have made this wonderful 2-hour program possible without all of the people involved. And this project started kind of as an idea here at the station this spring. We made some initial trips down to Effingham in May. In July, we had a big town hall meeting, and we stood up on the stage at the Effingham Performance Center. 50-some people showed up, and we said, what stories do you want to do? And we had a great dialogue with those Effingham residents about stories. And I still remember when Mary Ellen Eversman brought up the story of the Labor Day bell. I think, Jack, someone raised their hand and said, I know who stole it. I don't remember who it was, but there's a story there. And so we were so excited. And then we came back down to the Stang Art Studio and filmed those, and then we've been editing ever since. So it's been a great process, a great thing to do, and this is a great night, a great way to sort of encapsulate all of it. And I want to see, are we at 100 yet? We're getting there, ever so close.
Actually, we are right now, we're at, first of all, I just want to thank two people, Bob and Karen Probst from Watson. Thank you so much. They're our 87th caller. Bruce Perrin, a friend of WEIU already, is from Charleston. And Bruce, he's number 88. So we are getting really, really close. So I know we're not at 100 yet, so keep on calling. It's really important. I think we're 4 away. I think we're 4 away from our 100th person calling.
But
so
you know what would really be amazing is if we meet 100 and then we just keep
on
because
going.
You know what? That's what Effingham does.
They
say,
go
hey,
big.
you know what? We can do better than that. So just keep those phone calls coming in right now. Effingham, you should celebrate tonight because we're celebrating with you.
I think they say go big or go home. You know?
And you know what? They go big.
They do go big, and that's the thing that we've enjoyed so much about Effingham people. You showed it through some of our storytellers, the TIF thing for the high school.
That's right, for the high school. What a great story.
The courthouse. Look at what they've done with the lane. Veterans Memorial. There are so many circumstances in Effingham where people step up to the plate. It's people like you right now that are calling us. So important. I want to thank somebody else. So get on the phone now. If you haven't called, tonight is your night to say, I love Effingham and I want to support this program.
That's right. We want to say thank you to the storytellers. We want to say thank you to our first champion group, a member of 16 people who helped us start this program out tonight. A couple of them are sitting back here behind us, but you know what? Without you, we wouldn't be having this celebration tonight. So thank you for that. Thank you for the media, all of the newspapers, the radio stations who have gotten this information out, the Chamber of Commerce, the Visitors Bureau, all of these people. You work together, you're working together tonight. It's a great celebration, and we couldn't thank you enough.
Lori's got a couple.
All right, well, we need to say thank you. Caller number 90 is Charlie Henkin, who says hi to Brian. Brian is going to be the most popular guy in the set tonight. And we want to thank Dorothy and the late Arlen Arnold of Effingham, both those callers from Effingham. So thank you so much, Effingham County, East Central Illinois, for supporting this great program tonight. You know, this is what public television is all about. We are America's storytellers, and tonight we were able to tell the story of the people, the places, the happenings, and the history of Effingham, and it has been so great, and we can't wait to do another town. We wonder who it will be. It might be your town. You never know. but this was a great way to get this program series started. Right, ladies?
Right, and you know what? Your town
okay. Is
could
this
be
a new one?
next. You see what Effingham has done, the stories they have told, the people and the places that you have learned about tonight. Lots of things going on in Effingham. Does that type of thing happen in your town too? If so, you need to let us know. We might be moving to your town next, so it could be who knows what town? This is our story. But right now, it's still about Effingham. You can give us a call right now, 877-727-9348. We have some phone operators standing by right now. The phones are busy, but I'll tell you what, it's been a great night, and we still want to take some calls. So we're going to be here for a while. We want you to stick with us. Keep calling. If you have some people who have been watching other places and they may want a DVD copy, have them give us a call right now. You just never know what this might mean to somebody. This would be a great gift. The holidays are right around the corner. You may say, I don't know what to get my cousin. I don't know what to get my aunt. Give them a piece of your hometown. Give them a personal story from somebody they might know.
Okay, we got a couple more callers. Number 91 is Radel? Radel. Dan Radel from Dan's Glass. Thank you so much. He's caller number 91. And we really appreciate him. Michael Tipsword, you're number 92. Thanks so much, Michael. Sharon Wolke. Sharon Wolke is 93.
Yes. And I've got 94.
Woo! Mark Wilbur from Effingham.
And 95.
Oh my gosh. Nell Webb. Thank you so much, Nell,
Yes,
for calling
thank
in
you.
tonight. Who's number 96?
Effingham, you know what? You should
We
you
need
should
a
really be
96.
proud of
We need a
yourself
96.
tonight, because not only are Effingham residents calling in and supporting you, but it's people from all around
Sure.
the area.
Oh my gosh.
WEIU covers 22 counties, and several of those counties have called in tonight because of Effingham, so you should be very proud of that. Who else do we have?
Janet Ingberg. Oh, Ingbring, I'm sorry.
Yes, thank
you
you.
much, so much. And she's number 96. We are so close. Oh my gosh. Mike, we're hitting each other now. Mike and Kim Stanfield from Effingham, thank you so much
and
to
the
the
phones are still
Stanfields.
ringing.
97. Oh my word. D.
Kiefer
Kiefer from
from
Effingham.
Effingham.
Number 98. Do I hear a
Effingham, you're
99?
stepping up.
Number, no, who wants to be the 100th caller?
Oh, somebody's calling right now. Keep them coming, Effingham. Keep them coming. We are so proud of you this evening.
Joe Thomas, that's Ada Kepley from Shumway. Thank you, Joe.
That's right.
Great
She
job
was in
on
the
your
program
story.
this evening.
I'm telling you what, I'm pumped now. I'm excited. And we got these kids over here. You know what's really cool about WEIU, what we think is cool? We can bring their kids, people can bring their kids tonight and have such a great time. And I want to thank the Marxmans for bringing them out. We are
going to surpass 100.
Yeah! Go big
You know
or
what?
go home, and that's what Effingham does.
I'm telling you what, I shop at Effingham, I eat at Effingham, I got these shoes at Effingham. I did. I really love them a lot. So,
Oh, that's funny.
I'm going to Effingham tomorrow. I'm
We're
going.
going to go down and say thank you, aren't we?
Yes, we are. You know what? Seriously, we get excited because we love Effingham. Obviously, you love Effingham, so we're on this deal together.
That's right. We're creating a story together here tonight. You're a part of WEIU. We're a part of your lives. We want to say thank you so much for inviting us into your home, into your lives, telling us your story. Who do we have here, number 100?
Mike Kanabi from Effingham is number 100. Thank you so much. Now, I think there's somebody still on the phone. Keep it coming. Oh my gosh, we might get like to 125 or something.
just never know.
We are staying here till the last phone call. So right now, if you're one of those people, we don't want to leave you out. We do not want you to leave tonight. We don't want to leave tonight knowing that you wanted to call, but we weren't here to take it. So we're staying. When the phone stops ringing, that's when we're going to stop. Becky Brown from Edgewood. Thank you, Becky, so
Thank you so much.
So amazing. It is so crazy. I got to do something here.
Well, I guess I'll be talking to you right
Look.
now.
Sorry, we're not
It's
on.
okay. Go ahead.
Oh, we're not on there. I don't know where we are. I have all these cards right here. Look at these. Amazing. Amazing. I have, like right now, seriously, if anybody that knows me, I'm just a normal person and I get excited very easily. But I got goosebumps right now because we had no idea what this night was going to be like. We didn't know that all these great people were going to come in here tonight. And I'm getting choked up because they're family now. But 2-minute warning. So we got 2 minutes. So no emotion. We can't show any kind of bad
My
emotion.
eyes are getting wet right
But we
here
are just
because I'm
thrilled.
just so proud.
I mean, this this town has been amazing to us. And us as a team here at WEIU, these producers, we have the best producers that any station could ever ask for. They have taken these stories, your photos, and your video, and they've put them all together to create this program that we're so proud of, but we were hoping that you were going to be proud of it too. And obviously you are. Your calls have spoke, what, you know, I don't even know how to say it.
It's just spoken to our hearts. It's touched
crazy.
our hearts.
It's
We
crazy.
started this process out at the beginning of summer, and I got tears falling down my cheeks here.
Yeah.
But it really is so heartfelt. Thank you to all of the viewers out there for calling in tonight, because you know what you're doing? You're showing that public broadcasting matters, and that really matters to us because we put a lot of our heartfelt sweat and tears and everything into this, and it just is really encouraging that you're calling in tonight and supporting these efforts, because without local public broadcasting you wouldn't be able to hear these stories from the people in your town. And so we really do genuinely thank you tonight for that.
Thank you so much. We're going to throw it over to Lori. Lori?
Sure, why not? We're going to thank two more people. We got a couple more that we still want to thank before we get to the best part of the show, and that is the thank you credits. And there are so many people that need to be thanked, and you're going to see all of them on the screen. It's amazing how many people it took to put this program together. It was really a lot of fun. So the show is really not done yet, and we're going to stick around for a little bit. So if you want to call, you can. And remember, too, you can always call us during regular business hours or pledge online anytime. It's weiu.net. You can find the DVD information there. The neat thing about the DVD is you're going to be able to watch the whole thing if you want, or you can select different stories. So maybe you've got some friends over and they want to know about Ada Kepley. Pop in the DVD, hit Ada Kepley, and there you go. You can watch it. Do we have a few more? Okay, I'm going to let Jana do a few. Oh,
here we are.
Okay. We have Wes and Michelle Stoll of Effingham. They are
Stowell
of 102. It's so good that we've got Effingham folks behind us, because they've been able to
help us
pronounce
out.
all these names, so we're doing it right. So, Jana, Kian,
stick with us. We're here at the phone call. We're
still here taking calls.
That's right.
Come here.
We're all going to celebrate this evening. Kudos to Effingham. Thank you so much for supporting public broadcasting. Thank you so much for supporting the storytellers in your town.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the
Stick with
show.
us. Give us a call.
Funding for Effingham, This Is Our Story is made possible in part by Heartland Dental, with a home office based in Effingham, Illinois, has over 400 team members, many of whom are Effingham area residents. Founded by Dr. Rick Workman, Heartland Dental has affiliated offices in 26 states. Heartland Dental supports many local organizations and is proud to be a supporter of Effingham, This Is Our Story. Grunlow Construction, saluting all of the storytellers and volunteers involved in Effingham, This Is Our Story. Grunlow Construction, based in Effingham, supporting Effingham. Serving Corvette and classic Volkswagen enthusiasts around the world, Mid-America Motorworks is family-owned and operated, recognized as an entertainment destination and based in Effingham. We're pleased to be a part of Effingham, This Is Our Story. More information available at mamotorworks.com.